Marcus Tullius Cicero in Marcum Antonium, episode 15. Veretus sum ne meas repentinas ad meos necessarios adventus suspicionis aliquid afferet, si SM camaratus. Now Cicero explains why he only stayed in Syracuse one night. He says, Veretus sum, I was afraid. This is from the deponent verb, second conjugation, vere or vereri. So when we see the perfect, we translate it as a perfect active, even though it is a perfect passive. I was afraid, and this introduces a fear clause, which begins with ne and ends with the imperfect subjunctive afferet, which is from the irregular verb affere, pharaoh or ad pharaoh. The F assimilates to the next one, affere. Now the odd thing from the perspective of an English speaker about fear clauses is that a fear that something won't happen is an ut clause. The fear that something will happen is a ne clause. We typically think of ne as a negative, as known, and that is often how it's used in Latin. But in a fear clause, our expectation is reversed. So a fear that something will happen is a fear ne, whereas a fear that something will not happen is a fear ut. So what did he fear? I was afraid that meus repentinas. Now these are masculine, singular, and nominative. And so both of these adjectives raise the expectation of a noun for them to modify. But then we have this preposition and a prepositional phrase with the accusative. That my sudden what? To my friends, my intimate friends, who are called in Latin necessarios, those who are needful to me, my sudden arrival, adventus. Here is the next masculine singular nominative, and it is the subject of afferet. It is a fourth declension noun. That my sudden arrival to my intimate friends would afford, afferet, would provide, suspicionis aliquid. So what is the object of this active subjunctive, afferet, imperfect subjunctive? It's aliquid, which is neuter, singular, and accusative. With this partitive genitive, suspicionis, feminine singular, and genitive third declension noun, would provide some suspicion. This is the regular Latin construction. No good is nil boni, like so. Much happiness would be multum felicitatis, for example. I'll write the whole thing out here. The partitive genitive with a neuter singular substantive. So I was afraid that my sudden arrival to my intimate friends would create some suspicion if I were to delay, if I were to stay there. Now this is a pluperfect subjunctive. It's first singular pluperfect subjunctive passive, because it's from the deponent verb com moror, com morari, which means to tarry, to stay in a place. So if I had delayed there, implicit longer, I was afraid that it would raise some suspicion. So he stayed in Syracuse simply one night. Now what kind of conditional is this? In the protasis, the if clause, we have a contrary to fact, past. And in the apodosis, the then clause, we have a perfect indicative. So this is what we would call a mixed conditional.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the lesson, please press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment.